Hi guys, my name is Chris and I'm here to help you to be yourself again. It sounds so funny. But no, if you're like in a situation in your life where like you don't really know what you're doing, maybe you're in a transitionary phase, maybe you just left your job and you're looking for another job, maybe you just went through a breakup. The point is, you're in a position in your life right now where it's like you're like in this new place, like you haven't been there before. Well, this video, I'm gonna try to help you to sort of re-ground yourself, so that way no matter what your situation is, you can sort of like, okay, I may not know exactly where I'm going, I may not be certain about my future, but there's something that feels stable about this moment, okay? And just for a little more introduction, yeah, my name's Chris, I'm 29 years old. For the past like 6 years, I've been on my spiritual journey. What does that mean exactly, spiritual journey? It basically just means that I started to think for myself. I started to really question sort of everything about my life and my thoughts and sort of this reality, to sort of really come to understand, kind of like, I guess, finding myself and making sense of everything, which FYI, nothing will ever make full sense, but that is part of it making sense, if that makes sense. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about me, okay, a little more context. I'm half Dominican, half Mexican. Both my parents immigrated here, you know, in their life, and then I'm a first generation Hispanic American, okay? Okay, so to re-ground yourself, you basically need to remember two things, because we all sort of know this, but we sort of forget it, or maybe we don't hear someone explain it, okay? So essentially, the way you're gonna ground yourself in whatever phase you are in your life right now is you're going to remember that fundamentally there's two parts of you. There's the part of you which is trying to become something. Now, in the negative way of doing this, you're essentially trying to become something because you believe that what you are now is not enough to deserve love and things like that. So essentially, you're trying to become something out of fear of this moment or this version of yourself not being enough. So there's that version of that. There's a negative version of us that can exist in that way. Now, the version of that one that's the positive is there's a version of you that wants to become something, but not because this moment isn't enough, but simply because you just have the desire, right? You desire to have more money because you want to be able to go to Italy, and you've always dreamt of going to Italy. It's just an intuitive desire to want to go to Italy. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with you don't feel like you're enough because you live in wherever you live at. No, you just want to go to Italy just because you want to go to Italy. It's just a dream. You see, there's no attachment to it. It's just a pure desire. That's essentially what you want to be doing. Okay, this video is so fucking messy, but hopefully you take something away. I probably should have planned a little bit more, but hold up, just hang with me, okay? Okay, so that's one aspect of ourselves. Okay, just please bear with me. Or actually, if you don't want to bear with me, don't bear with me, but I'm gonna finish this video. I don't care if it's messy. Okay, so there's that part of you. There's that part of you that wants to become something or wants something, right? It's natural. Everybody has it. Essentially, we're building that. There's the aspect of us that we're building, right? We're building at this. We're changing our habits. We're doing something. We're changing, right? Then you have the version of yourself, which is just the way you are now, right? Like, for instance, right now, I'm just like, for a split second, I was like, man, I should just cut this video. It's trash. I'm fucking up. That's the insecure part of me. Or in other words, it's the shadow self. It's the part of me that I'd much rather not even talk about, right? Like, naturally, it makes you a little bit uncomfortable because maybe it's like, oh, if people know these things about me, these vulnerable sides of me, then they won't like me, right? But the truth is, everybody has this shit. Everyone has fucking problems. Everyone has flaws, right? That is what some people refer to as the shadow self. is the sort of subconscious aspect of yourself which you become aware of, and usually we just push and we try to sort of pretend as if that aspect of us doesn't exist. So whatever is going on in your life, you're always going to have those two aspects of yourself. There's always going to be the aspect of yourself that wants something futuristic in a way, that wants to become something. Remember, it can be from a negative way or a positive way. Obviously, I would encourage you to do it the positive way. But if you are someone who wants to build something in your future that comes from a place of fear that you don't think you're enough, then that feeling of not being enough is actually the other aspect of yourself that I was just mentioning, what people refer to as your shadow self. So as you can see, yourself, these two elements are really kind of just one element together. But in a way, they're separate because there's sort of, one is just being and the other is like this thing that wants to evolve. And so there's an aspect of you that just wants to be because it's very pleasurable to just be. And then there's another element of yourself that wants to become something more, because as a human being, for whatever reason, our spirit always wants to expand. Our spirit wants to experience things on a, let's just say, for lack of better term, wants to experience life on a higher level, right? So you cannot deny either version of yourself, right? If you try to say, oh no, I'm just gonna enjoy my life, I don't need anything, there's gonna always be the part of yourself that wants to evolve, that wants to experience something new, that wants to discover something new about yourself. You can't help it. You just can't help it. So if you're in a situation where you're just going through a rough time, what I would recommend is to really take the time to befriend the shadow aspect of yourself. The shadow aspect of yourself is the part that really makes it so you don't want to stay where you're at, where you feel like something has to change. In essence, you could sort of think of your shadow self as your inner child, right? So when you think of a child, let's say the child's like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. Like they're conscious, but they just barely became conscious. If you saw a child like that at that age, and let's just say whatever emotion you're going through, you saw a child going through that emotion, you nurturing your shadow self is the way you would treat that child. Because if you think about a 4 to 7 year old, they're just in their feelings, right? And so essentially your shadow self is just a pure feeling sort of aspect of yourself. So you need to nurture yourself as if you were that. You need to nurture that part of yourself that's very sort of afraid, insecure, doubtful, anxious, depressed, etc., jealous, envious, just doesn't feel settled. You need to nurture that part of yourself like if it was like a 4 to 7 year old. And I don't mean that with any sort of disrespect. This is not a disrespectful thing. This is just the reality. No matter how old a human being is, they always will have the inner child or the shadow self. Okay? So that's pretty much it. This is probably the most messy explanation of all time, but maybe I'm gonna argue that that's what makes this video so beautiful, is the fact that it's so messy and so raw. You know, maybe it also was confusing, which I apologize for that, but I'm out here giving it a try, you guys. This is me nurturing my shadow side, because my shadow side at the earlier part of this video was like, bruh, we should just cut this video, it's trash. You know, we're not staying on the clear, like the idea of this video is not so clear. This video is not gonna get that many views. But hey, I love that part of me that's concerned. It's because I care about you guys. There's no negativity about that aspect of myself, and I'm gonna love every part of myself. And that's essentially what I'm trying to show you guys, to love every part of yourself. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video. That helps more than you can imagine. If you have a question or anything, comment down below. That helps more than you can imagine. And more importantly, or most importantly, subscribe, because that's probably what helps me the most. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I probably will continue to do more longer form videos like this, because this is, I think, what I've always liked to do. But I post short form content on here too, YouTube Shorts. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know if there's a topic that you want me to talk about, okay? Or if you want to know anything else about me. I'm serious. I'm an open book. All right. Peace.